I'm Martin Bennett, Spaced Out Radio, President of CX. Join me live the first Friday of every month where I play Russian Spaced Out Radio Cabinet and help you understand those from the far-off world. It's 2 hours of knowledge every experience is different. Hope to see you there.
Did you know that Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi, it's James Tyson from Spaced Out Weekend. Every Saturday and Sunday night, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, you can join me and my guests for some great chatter about what's going on out in the universe, or even in that dark part of the basement you really don't want to go back into. Let's find the answers to your experiences together. Come on up to Uncle Jimbo's cabin on the weekend. For more information, look us up at spacedoutradio.com. Would you like to connect with us on Spaced Out Radio? Go to Spaced Out Revolution Radio. Check out the latest shows, guests, and sponsors. And don't forget to sign up for the Space Travelers Club. You'll find all you need at spacedoutradio.com. Welcome back to Space Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. If you are on the East Coast, good to have you all here tonight as we do this thing 7 days a week, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern Time. I host Monday through Friday. Uncle Jimbo and Elizabeth Anglin are here Saturday and Sunday night for Spaced Out Weekend. And thank you so much for everyone participating in the chat rooms of the SOR Space Travelers on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio's chat room on Spreaker, and, of course, all of you on Revolution Radio's chat room. Thanks so much for being with us. Remember, if you are part of the Revolution Radio team, send in a donation, because Revolution Radio is a donation station financed by you, the valued listener. Hook it up today and keep it going for this great broadcasting team. Tomorrow night on the show, Rob Morphy will join us, the crypto historian from Cryptopia.us. We're going to get into some more weird and strange creatures of the night around North America. Well, some of the day too, but that's what we do. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio Show, and our website is spacedoutradio.com. While on our website, you can check out the SOR Space Wire by our news director, Eric Markham. You can also check out our great music that runs right through our show on spacedoutradio.com and on Spreaker. That is, of course, the guitar god himself, Ron Bumblefoot, formerly of Guns N' Roses, who does all of our music for this show. And you can read our latest blogs, mine on making an emotional commitment to fans. Try and write it out there. I'd love your response on that if you wouldn't either. And you can join the SOR Space Travelers Club. It only costs $5 a month. With that entry, you could be like Joe Alga, win prizes. The final Friday of every month, we make a prize draw, so you can win some prizes there. And you can also have a private section for posting on our website. You get private group interview access. You get a monthly newsletter. The interviews and the newsletter are being set up as we speak, and so much more. Unlike the other guys, we give you a heck of a lot more than just access to our archives. So, 2 hours down, we had John Ventry on. JohnVentry.com is his website. We were talking about the Kecksburg UFO incident, where he said he believes it was a spy satellite that came crashing down, not a UFO in Kecksburg on December 9th, 1965. John joined us for the first 2 hours. We bring in Eric Squared here for hour number 3, as we did last night. We got Eric Markham from the SOR Space Wire and Eric Cooper from Forest Moon Paranormal and S4. Gentlemen, good to have you back.
It's always awesome to be here.
It is always fun to have you here as well. So let's start off with it. John Ventry had a very good argument tonight, Coop, in regards to the Kecksburg incident being a satellite and not a UFO. What's your take on this?
Here's my take. And don't get me wrong, I can get completely on board with not everything being ET. I don't think everything is ET, not by a long shot. And I can get on board with You know, he was there. Well, not when it happened, but he was actually there doing research on it. And I can get on board with that. My problem with what he said is anytime you have, okay, and if any aircraft goes down, they are going to rope it off. I've done accident investigation training and whatnot. When I was in aviation, if we had an Apache go down, because of the sensitive material that's on that helicopter, for example, it would be barricaded off, it would be blocked off, and it would be guarded for 24 hours until, and we were in Germany when I was in the Apache unit, and it would be on armed guard until the accident investigation team came from DC. Now, if that was space junk, if that was just something, I don't know, randomly falling from the sky that was not an ET craft, and I can get on board with that, why was the military there if it wasn't something sensitive? And if it was a radiation risk, I'm sorry, but no, they're not going to just throw it up on a flatbed truck and throw a couple tarps over it and go traipsing it off to their base. That's not going to happen. If there was a radiation risk, which if it came from space, there probably was anyway, that area would have been secure for a lot longer than it was. And so, was it ET? Who's to say? If it was sensitive, it very well could have been a spy satellite. It very well could have been something similar to the Bell from the Nazis, you know. But that's where I stand. I think there's a lot more to the story than what's being told.
Eric Markham, what is your opinion?
Well, look at the paranoia in that era, and maybe they didn't know what it was. They just had something that broke out of orbit, or there's so much about that. I mean, there's actually pictures of this thing that looks like a bad 50s movie monster with glowing eyes that was passed around the papers. And if it was a satellite, I believe they would have handled it, with the military. Because, they don't know if it's ours, the Soviets, or what. So I think they were trying to do some kind of damage control. I'm kind of on board that it might not have been. It just dawned on me, though. They mentioned how it didn't just crash. It seems like it maneuvered around a little bit, like it tried to take off again. Coop, you remember reading something about that? Or either one of you? It seems like it moved through the woods after it crashed, or tried to take off. There was this like ammonia smell.
I don't remember that with that. I remember that with Rendlesham. Rendlesham did crash though, but Rendlesham moved through the woods. I don't remember hearing anything about Kecksburg. If I remember right, Kecksburg just crashed, and then the military was there rather quick. And for them to, and that's the other part of my problem with it. Yeah, somebody was tracking, because for the military to be there within 40 minutes, like the record state, that's really odd to me.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
there was also, it supposedly had some kind of weird hieroglyphics running around the bottom part of it.
Exactly. And you know what? That's a question I forgot to ask John. I had it written down.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too, and I forgot.
Of course, Air Force had just said it was the tape that it was taped together with toy maker tape like that.
Right.
Roswell.
Well, because if you remember, right, Roswell had the same symbol.
Yeah, I've heard that they said that. It was saying.
Well, you know what? It's one of those debates that will continue. We do know that there are official answers out to this, except we know that they will never be disclosed yet.
No, and they'll never be. The truth will never be told.
We need a time machine just so we can go back to some of these weird instances, observers, and say, "Oh, it wasn't a weather balloon," or "Oh, wow, damn, it really was just a weather balloon." That would be my thing, I think. and
Right.
verify.
And Joe Algier is saying here the same thing as the Kecksburg maneuvered and changed direction before it hit.
Okay, I thought I had heard something about that.
Yeah.
That it wasn't
Thank you,
just
Joe.
a ballistic, if I remember right, it wasn't just a ballistic type of trajectory. It tried to correct it. So,
And, okay, another thing to bring up with that, if it corrected itself and it changed trajectory, it didn't hit or impact at full, at full force, then why would they have to weld it or cut it out?
oh, that's right. They were supposedly wedged in a tree, maybe.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, you're still going to have some impact there, but not like they're showing in the reports.
with the heat, maybe
No.
it burned its way into the tree.
It could have.
Because it came down. They say that it was like a fireball.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it came down in a very thick area of woods, it could have burned into the. I don't know. That's, like I said, that's one we'll never know. There's so many different reports, and you don't know how much of it was just the local guy with the local paper thinking, here's my Pulitzer. It's
Now for a future discussion, I do have people in Kingman, Arizona that are with me upon, and we can get more information on the Kingman crash as well. I don't have the access right now because I've heard a lot about the Kingman, Arizona crash too.
I've got a friend that lives there. I'll reach out to him. Musician friend. That could be a good source if he's heard anything about it.
I have no friends in Kingman, Arizona, or Arizona at all, so I can't help them. But I can do some good research on them. I promise you I will. How often do you guys think, and Eric Markham, I'll start with you here, because you're not only educated in science, but you are also ex-Navy as well. How many UFO crashes do you think have happened? Do you think it's one a year that maybe we're covering up? Maybe one every couple of years that we're covering up?
I have to ask myself, what is it about Earth? These people can make it all the way from wherever they get here and they wreck their flying saucer.
Atmosphere.
If they're they've got to be
Built by Ford?
Smart enough. Oh no, go there. No, but I'm saying, what is it? Is it Armageddon? You would think they would be smart if they're smart enough to get here. Why are they crashing their UFOs once they're here? Is it a way of defecting, or are they trying to feed us? Is this their way of maybe getting around the rules if there's an agreement about what's going on? It's like, we were going to turn it over to them, but we ran out of gas and crashed right there in the desert.
I'm still a firm believer on another Ford recall, but that's just me.
Forced disclosure.
Yeah, could be. Or a workaround that might be saying, you can't let your technology get in the hands of the talking monkeys over there on Earth. Okay. But if we crash, if we pull a plug or have a so-called mechanical failure and we crash in the desert, well, gee, sorry.
I think you're taking this.
I don't know how many there would be a year, because we'll never really get an official Navy document saying, 52 USOs, logged this week, kind of thing.
I did forget to mention the SOR Space Traveler's Password of the Night. I must update it now. Bill Craig, members of the SOR Space Travelers Club, Otherworldly is your password for tonight, so make sure you use it wisely.
Perfect. It's perfect for tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I like my answer the best. Blasphemous Buddha in Revolution Radio's chat room stated maybe their air brakes failed. I still think it's a Ford. I still think it's a Ford recall. Claudia in the SOR Space Travelers mentioned, because Earth women are so beautiful, they crash. This is true. This is very true.
Because they think life be
Right?
Exactly.
Over Vegas.
Well, I can tell you this, as someone who has seen a UFO on the ground, I can tell you that I did not hear that ship come in. I did not hear it leave. But I sure as hell saw it there because of the lights that came on. I'm sure there's crash sites that there is absolutely crash sites out there that have never been discovered.
Oh, there's the spots on this planet that man's never been to. Alaska, for example. And I mean, the Himalayas. There's places in the mountains that have never been explored. So I have no doubt. And you've heard of the Tunguska explosion. That was like an atomic bomb. I can't remember. It was eons ago, a few hundred years ago. And no meteor caused that, but that just goes to show we had UFO crashes back in, I don't know, the 1800s. And I think that was before that. I'd have to look it up. But, yeah. And, I mean, you have one crash. Roswell was supposed to have crashed because it hit another spacecraft that crashed in Mexico.
Yes. And you know what? I actually had a witness to that second crash on Spaced Out Radio about a year and a bit ago, about a year and a half ago. A gentleman by the name of Gerald Anderson, who hadn't spoke publicly in 22 years. He was 5 years old when he came across that crash site with his dad. And he walked up, he touched the ship, he touched one of the beings that was dead, he touched one of the beings that was alive. They were there for 30 minutes before the government arrived. And the theory on that is they collided over New Mexico because there was a major thunderstorm that night, combined with the military radar that was going absolutely crazy because they were testing nuclear weapons in New Mexico at that time. You know, that it was just a bad scenario where lightning may have hit one of the ships. It went boom. The first one went down immediately. The other one staggered over to Kelowna, which was the one for the Roswell incident. It's easier to cover up the second one when the first one is a weather balloon.
Well, the whole thing with that Project Mogul is Project Mogul happened 3 or 4 years after Roswell. There was no Project Mogul at the time of Roswell. By the Air Force's own, the Air Force trotted that out, and then it's like, oh crap, we hadn't done that. Oh well, nobody will notice. Don't pay attention to the man behind the draperies.
Exactly. I have a couple questions in the Space Out Radio chat room on Spreaker. This one from Poet Laureate Corrine de Winter. Eric Squared, and we'll start with you, Cooper. What do you think of John Ventry? Do you think he was truthful or not?
I'm not going to come out and voice my opinion. I think he believes firmly, like all experiencers. I'm going to say, I think he believes his beliefs, and that's good. Everyone needs to. I don't agree with him. I don't think everything's a demon. I know a lot of demonologists. I know a lot of psychics and mediums that deal with entities on a regular basis. And out of, 100 to 300 cases, have maybe seen a demon once, twice. And to go out there and say all grays, which I heard him say at the end of the show, are demonic, no. Not by a long shot. So that's why I do that.
I agree that he believes. I think he believes in what he's saying. I think he's got some of it wrong. But I think he's being truthful in as much as he's confused. we were there. We knew what we saw, what we learned at the time, what the impressions were, and you just there if you don't have any kind of way of documenting it, you're hanging out there for the breeze. But take it with a grain of salt. So much of what perception isn't really understood. What we call reality, what we call solid, is on a molecular level, damn near nothing to do with space. So there's so much room for everything.
Okay, but I'll debate you guys on this for a little bit because you guys believe my stories. I believe your stories. That's his experience, and that's what his personal research has shown you. So therefore, how is he not going to come up with that format rather than something that you've experienced and learned, Eric Cooper, or you, Eric Martin, or even myself? I'm not trying to play politically correct here, but I can honestly sit here and say that, you have to take their story at face value because that's what he's experienced.
I fully agree, and that's why I said I'm not going to debate him on it because that was his experience.
But then
I would like to
wonder
hear
how much of an experience. What was his preconceived notion when he started researching? Did he lean toward? Did he already have in mind grays or demons that he only researched into sources that backed up? As somebody who's done research, I know how easy it is to skew your data by what you research when you're trying to set up an experiment. If he already had a preconceived idea that, or he had heard some other ufologist or somebody say that, even if he wasn't consciously swaying himself toward that information that might have been in the back of his mind the whole time and aimed him that way.
Could be.
Yeah, that and religious belief plays a big part in everybody. And if you haven't looked at spirits in general can take on the signs and symptoms of a demon very easily. Most of your proclaimed demonic cases are actually pissed off spirits. Spirits can cause scratches. Spirits can take on shadow forms. Spirits can do the same thing. That's why not everything. The most true demonic cases don't come across as physical. They come across when there's a demonic attack. It's more subtle and it's more psychiatric. To be honest with you. So,
like the way it was portrayed in the movie, not to go into fiction, but kind of like the way it was portrayed in Constantine, where they nudge you toward a weakness you already have, and make you get weaker and make you succumb to a temptation where where there's a chink in your armor.
exactly. Most demons aren't going to. Most people that die due to demonic kill themselves because the demon caused them to, essentially. Now on that note, I am curious, and I may pick up his book. I would like to hear more of his theories on demons.
Yeah, me too. And Shar brings up a good point in the Space Out Radio chat room on Spreaker. That she's saying he didn't say all were demons. He even wrote the book that proves that aliens exist. So we do have to give a little bit of leeway there. I do have a question from SJ in the Space Out Radio chat room on Spreaker. She is saying, we were talking about ships that crash. She's saying, what if those ships are crashing because they're not alien ships at all, but they're ours?
It's a good point. My argument with that is